evening, guys. This is Ask Profit only on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Malika Mishra.
And I'm your host Himakshi Bahugna, and together we'll be taking up all your stock-related queries. So don't forget to WhatsApp us or call us directly. The numbers are there flashing on your screens right now, viewers. And on the show, we are joined by Vaibhav Vidwani on the fundamentals and Ravi Singh on the technicals. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. And Vaibhav is joining us for the first time. So a very heartwarming welcome to you, Vaibhav.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, so let's get started with the show. So first query is by Minoshka from Mumbai, and Minoshka holds 500 shares of Tanla platforms at 461. So Minoshka is looking for both short-term and long-term outlook on the counter, and would also want to accumulate more. So Vaibhav, on the fundamental aspects, how do you see Tanla platforms? Are you positive on the counter?
Okay, so like if we see this stock is available at a very attractive valuation if we compare with the peers in the industry, and Tanla platform even have delivered the maintained revenue growth. So, and their margins are also quite maintained. So, at this point of time, I will say that we should be a little cautious about this particular stock, as their revenue is quite maintained and the institutional investors are continuously decreasing their holding in this particular stock.
Got it. And quickly taking a technical view on this as well. Ravi, what is your technical sense of Tanla platforms looking like? Because the stock has dipped quite a lot recently.
See, ma'am, trend is your friend. So market is in still a strong head. So I can say that just hold your position, put the stop loss of 460 level. All parameters are satisfactory and supporting to uptrend till 650 to 680 levels. So I can say that just hold. If you want to add, then this is the best level. You can add also, but momentary target is 650 to 680 levels.
Okay, thank you so much for pointing out those levels for Tanla platforms, and we will quickly take up another WhatsApp query as well. Sarath has written to us from Dubai. He has a query on RR Cable. He currently holds 90 shares of this company at 1,220 rupees a piece. He's made a profit of 14 lakh rupees from this investment, so he bought it at an extremely attractive price. Looking at how RR Cable has recently performed, I would like to take Vaibhav's view on this as well. How does the fundamental of RR Cable look like? Because it hails from a very competitive space.
If we see like RR Cable have delivered robust numbers in near terms, and and that stock is also available at a little higher PE than the industry. And if we see in overall sector, demand of cable is quite high, and that's why there are so many new individuals are entering into this particular space. So means in near terms we can expect improvement in revenue and their profitability, but for long term, as new businesses are entering into this particular vertical, so I think so it can increase the competition in the this particular segment. So for a short term, surely we can hold, but if view is for very long term, then we should be a little cautious.
Okay. And Ravi, then with a cautious approach towards RR Cable, would you then recommend, I'm so sorry, Sarath to book his profits because he's sitting on a handsome profit of about 14 lakh rupees?
See, ma'am, once I look any profit, so I am very greedy, because I can say that once a stock have a sufficient move, so book the profit. That is your luck, but luck is also is important, and fundamental points and technical points is also important. Put the stop loss of 1280, whatever the move, doesn't matter. But the target would be the 1380 to 1450 levels in longer term. But I can say that this is the right time where you can at least book some profit, maybe 50% or 60%, and wait for the correction. Once it correct till 1200 levels or 1150 levels, then you can just ask again in ask profit shows.
Well, thanks for that, Ravi. With that, let's go across to a caller. First international caller on our show, joining us from Singapore. Hi, Mohammed Kamran.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, good evening. How can I help you on the show today?
Good evening, good evening. Okay, so I have 1,073 stocks of JWL,
Okay.
Jupiter Wagons, purchased at 373.63.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to get a long-term view on this, keeping the today's results in mind if you have a chance of going through it.
Okay, so for how long are you planning to hold?
I'm planning for long-term, around 2 years or more.
Understood. So, Vaibhav, you know, Jupiter Wagons just came out with its Q4 results and the numbers are not really healthy because net profit is down 1.8%, revenue is also down 6.4%, although EBITDA is up 3.6% and margin is at 14.6%. So, these are the numbers that, you know, the company has reported. So, considering this, how are the fundamentals of Jupiter Wagons looking like? Are they promising? And should our investor, you know, Mohammed Kamran, should he stay invested in the counter for like 2 to 3 years?
Okay. So as we know that in railway there is very huge scope, and our government is focused on railway. So after defense, I will say government is focused on railway. So in future they can get lot of orders, and in at this point of time they also have good orders. So means we can expect a good growth in their order book in future. So I will recommend that we should hold this particular stock, as our vision of our government is quite good in this particular segment.
Understood. And Ravi, you know, talking about the levels for a new investor who wants to enter, you know, Jupiter Wagons, so are these the elevated levels or these are the correct levels to enter?
See, ma'am, in fact, not talk about the JWL. I can cover two or three stocks more in railway sectors because all are looking attractive. Number one is Jupiter Wagon. Yeah, there is a strong support at 400 to 380 levels. So whenever you get this level, just add for the target of 550 to 600 levels in this year. So very aggressive target. And second, RVNL is attractive. Current market price also is 430 to 420 levels, target of 550 to 600 levels. And also IRFC is right now is trading 141, but in longer term there is a crucial breakout, so target would be the 155. So Mohammed Saab, please add these stocks also in your portfolio.
Okay. Now we have another caller joining us on the phone line, Amit from Hyderabad. Hi Amit, good evening.
Hello ma'am, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question, Amit.
Ma'am, my question is regarding Mazagon dock. Since this geopolitical issue which is going on, and India is now also expected to even export some defense equipment. How soon can it reach 5,000 per share?
Okay. Let's talk to Ravi about this, because Ravi, Amit from Hyderabad currently holds 208 shares of Mazagon dock at 86 rupees a piece, and the stock has climbed up to 3,400 levels, giving him a massive profit. He's sitting on an aggregate amount of 6 lakh in profits from this investment. He's asking how soon can this touch 5,000 rupees? What would your reply to that be?
Sir, 5,000 rupees is a magical number. Definitely this stock will achieve, but it will take time to 1.5 year to 2 year. But I can say that you are in a sufficient profit position. So just book the 50%, 209 share you have, I think. So book 100 share at this current price if you need any money or if you need any requirements. And again, you can buy at 3,200 to 2,800, between 2,800 levels. But I can say that there are a lot of volatility in Mazagon and all the defense counter. So longer term prospects, definitely you hold. But the good strategy that book partial profit and buy again at dip.
A very good suggestion coming in from you, Ravi. And Vaibhav, I would like to quickly take in your analysis on this one as well, and also your perspective on, the broader defense sector itself. Because while last week defense was one of the top sectoral indices in the Indian market, today it was also one of the top losers. And with such volatility surrounding and circumventing the defense sector, would you recommend investors to take fresh calls in this?
If we see at this point of time, earlier what was happening that our government, India used to import a lot of defense products from outside. Now what we are doing, we are also focusing on export. And after Indo-Pak conflicts, there is very huge demand of Indian defense products at international market. So these all things are guiding us towards very good growth in defense segment. And there are very good expectations that this particular segment will grow in a very robust way. Some companies have delivered good numbers, some have not delivered good numbers. So it is more about the execution of their projects. So like if we see Mazagon Dock, so Mazagon Dock is into the building of submarines, and there is very good expectation that in future they can get very good order book, good orders from the government, and there are expectations that in 26 to 27 they can even get order of 6 more new submarines. So their current order book is good, and expectations for the future is also positive. So I will say that if someone view is for very long term, then they should they can enter at this point also, or otherwise they should wait for some level of correction and they can enter at a lower levels.
Understood. Thanks for that view, Vaibhav. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Hyderabad. Hi, Suresh. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, how can I help you today?
I'm holding a green pack around 90 shares at 780.
Yeah.
So I have been seeing that it slowly, steadily is going up.
Yeah.
So can I add another 100 shares which I am planning to add?
Okay.
Is it time to add more for 1 year?
And Suresh, okay, for 1 year. Understood.
Previous levels. Can I expect previous levels in 1 year to 2 years, between 1 year to 2 years, I can hold it.
Are you expecting the levels that you bought, the counter coming to those levels so that you can accumulate more?
No, actually, in current level, can I accumulate more?
Yeah.
Can I expect that?
Yes.
Highs are like 1,200 and 1,300.
Understood. So, Ravi, talking about the levels, he bought it at 780. Currently, it's trading at 870 and was also up in trade today over 2%. So, and looking at the charts, since after March, the counter is in an upward, direction. So, what's your sense, and are these the correct levels to accumulate more?
Yeah, the breakout is going on, and I can say that now the trading in a lot of small moving averages like 20 days, 25 days or 30 days. So there is a very strong support around 850 to 845 levels. So in fact, sir, I can congratulate. This is a good strategy. Once you're in a profit, then definitely do the average, because your profit will increase in after some time. So I can say that yes, you can add at 850 levels and 45 levels for the target of 980 to 1000 levels in next 3 to 8 months.
Okay, understood. And now we have Rahul calling in from Chandigarh. Hi, Rahul. Good evening. Rahul?
I have.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm looking to invest in a pharma or a metal stock, and I have 2 stocks in my mind. One is Hindalco from metals, and other is Bajaj Finance from Pharma.
Okay.
What would be the right stock to invest in at this point of time?
Okay, interesting. Vaibhav, Rahul from Chandigarh currently wants to know whether it would be the right time to enter pharma or the metal space, and he's narrowed down Zydus from the pharma sector and Hindalco from the metal sector. Which one would your pick be, and why?
My pick will be Hindalco. So the reason behind that is, like, if we see at this point of time, metal prices are bottom out. And why metal prices declined, the reason was the conflicts between the US and China. So now there are expectations that US will not impose that much heavy tariffs on China, and that somehow will bring optimism in the metal segment, and that will support Hindalco valuation in upcoming quarters. So my view for Hindalco is more positive than Zydus.
And Ravi, among the two, which is Hindalco, and Vaibhav already pointed out that Hindalco, coming from the metal space, is vulnerable to geopolitical tensions. It's just the nature of that sector and the way business performs over there. And plus, Pharma is also somehow, under these fears of what kind of tariffs could be imposed on different, say, generic products and all of that. Now, with such fear and uncertainty looming both these spaces, would it be a good decision to enter these stocks, and are the current levels at which they're trading a good entry point?
Ma'am, if you talk about a best entry point, so this is not a right time to enter in Hindalco or enter in Zydus, but I can say that 620 or 600 levels are risk reward ratio is good that point of time, because the stop loss would be the 580 levels for the target of 700. So this at the current point, that 50% ratio is stop loss and target. So just avoid the trade. Second trade is Zydus. Zydus is also facing resistance at current level. So avoid for 2 or 3 weeks. But I can suggest two stocks. Number one is a Morphin Lab for pharma sector. He has a potential to achieve the target of 75 to 80 levels very soon. So you can add at current market price with the stop loss of 55. And second, GAIL India is a best option to enter, because currently GAIL India is trading 400, stop loss would be the 380 levels and target would be the 480 levels. So risk reward ratio is better, and now is facing a very strong support at 380 levels. So technically is also sounding well. So you can add both of the stocks.
Okay, thanks for that view, Ravi. With that, we are joined by a caller from Karnal. Hi, Hariom. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, how can I help you today?
Madam, I am having a Bajaj Hussain 606 at a rate of 145.
Ji.
Should I hold or sell it, or choose another stock in pharma sector?
Understood. And are you planning to hold it for long term or short term, Hariom?
6 to 8 months I can wait.
6 to 8 months. All right. Because currently you are sitting on a loss of over 11,000 is what I can see. So Ravi, directing this question to you, he bought it at 145. Currently it's down at 126. So what's the 6 to 8 month outlook on the counter? How is it faring on the charts?
Maybe, ma'am, you can see some range bound activity in this counter, 120 to 130 levels. But important is that is not achieving the 145 levels. That means you are in a that point of time you are also in a loss. So I can suggest one of the stocks is railway counter is IRFC is looking very strong compared to the Bajaj housing. So right now is trading 141, and they have a potential to achieve 155 to 160 level. So risk reward ratio is better. Just switch the position and buy IRFC is a good strategy.
Okay, so switch positions from Bajaj Housing Finance to IRFC is what Ravi is suggesting. Vaibhav, I'd also like to come to you on the fundamental aspect of it. You know, the housing space is doing pretty decent. So what's your sense on the entire space, and do you have any particular picks in this space?
Yes, I have. So first, if we see, Bajaj Housing Finance is currently trading at a PB of 5. So, and their numbers were not that much impressive. Their numbers were quite below the expectations. And if we see, so that's why we have more better options available in housing space. like we can look for the India Shelter Housing Finance. And the reason behind that is they are doing they have done very good geographical expansion, and because of that, we can expect a robust growth in their AUMs. So we can expect a good growth in their advances. So that's why that investor can switch from Bajaj Housing Finance to India Shelter Housing Finance.
Okay, that makes sense. And now we have Sai joining in on the phone line from Chennai. Hi, Sai. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, I have 1,000 shares of Trident that I have been purchased at 50.
Okay.
Can I hold them for a long term?
Okay, and when did you purchase these at 50 rupees per share?
Some 2 years back.
Okay, that was a long time ago. Understood. Vaibhav, first of all, Sai from Chennai currently holds 1,000 shares of Trident at 50 rupees a piece. The stock has fallen to about 29.8, the levels at which it is currently trading. We noticed that from 18th March or so, it has been making a slow recovery on the charts. However, given the fundamentals, it had a weak Q3. How does Trident look to you? And for somebody like Sai, who wants to know whether he can stay invested for a long time, what would your suggestion be?
If we see, Trident numbers are quite good, but their valuation is quite high. Trident is already trading at a PE of 51, and which is higher than its industry PE of 23. So, but if we see in this particular segment, we can expect good growth, but it will take time. So, but if we consider all the factors, so investor can look for the other stock rather than Trident, because Trident is available at a very expensive valuation.
Okay, thanks for that view. With that, we're joined by a caller from Noida. Hi, Amol. Good evening. Amol, are you there on the phone line?
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Actually, I'm holding 100 shares of Granules.
Okay.
And I bought it at 475.
Yeah.
And I need a short-term view on this, whether it can achieve like 550 level in next few days.
550?
And also from Raviji, 550.
Okay.
And also, if one want to enter IRFC, what should be the stop loss? Just Raviji recommended IRFC now, right?
Okay, understood. Yeah. So, Amol, because Ravi was suggesting that IRFC is currently trading at the correct level. So, if you want to enter, you can enter at these levels, right, Ravi?
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. Yeah. And I can say that put the stop loss of 135 to 137 levels, and for the target of 155 to 160 levels. And also, Granule is looking strong, sir. Trading at very strong support. So I can say that 550 in next 2 or 3 days, you can see these levels. So just hold, put the stop loss of 495 and hold for the target of 560 to 580 levels.
Okay. And now we have another caller, Kaustab, joining us from Kolkata. Hi, Kaustab. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, so I actually have 45 shares of Bajaj Finance, averaging at about 6,800.
Okay.
My view is medium term up to 3 years. So would that be recommended to hold it, or I shall book my partial profit and go to another stock?
Okay, interesting. Vaibhav, Kaustab from Kolkata currently holds 45 shares of Bajaj Finance at 6,800 rupees a piece, and he's seeking a 1 to 3 year view. Now, my question to you would be, something that I'm observing is that the price at which he bought these 45 shares of Bajaj Finance were hovering around its 52-week low, and the stock now has climbed to about its 52-week high. Now, is there more legroom to go in terms of the share price and also the fundamentals of the company? How does it look like? Are we seeing a further push? And from that perspective, would it be a good idea to stay invested for the next 1 or 2, 3 years?
Okay. So if we see, Bajaj Finance is currently trading at a PB of 5.95, and they have delivered robust numbers in this quarter. And if we all are aware that in unsecured loans, risk is increasing. So, but overall, Bajaj Finance collection efficiency is quite good, and they have that ability to transfer their increasing cost to their clients. So, we can hold this particular stock, and we can expect a target of near about 11,000 for the Bajaj Finance for long term.
Okay. Then Ravi, how does the technicals of Bajaj Finance look like? Because it had like 2-3 bouts of recovery in the recent past, but now since November of 2024, the stock only has been gradually and slowly on an average moving upwards. Do you think that trend will continue?
Ma'am, I have a different strategy and different thought. I can say that love your profit, don't love the stock. So at SIRS is concerned. So yeah, stock is in uptrend. I can say that, but is very sufficient profit. You should book profit first, I think. And if you want to enter again, then you may you will get the opportunity at 8,500 levels or 8,800 level very soon. So there is a lot of volatility, but yeah, longer term prospects, this stock is looking strong. But I can give another options. There is a two options. One is a power grid. 304 is trading, and target would be the 380 to 400 levels. Strong fundamental with the strong technical chart. So I can suggest second stock is IGL. In the gas 211 trading at very comfortable zone with very strong support. Put the stop loss of 180 to 195 for the target of 280 in next 1 year.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Ravi. And viewers, we'll have to slip into a short break, but keep sending in your queries as well as on WhatsApp and call in. We will be right back for Ask Profit. Do stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in?
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Himakshi Bahugna. Along with me is my co-host Malika Mishra, and on the show we are joined by Vaibhav Vidwani on the fundamentals and Ravi Singh on the technicals. So they will be solving all your stock-related queries. Viewers, what are you waiting for? Please pick up your phones and call us right away. The numbers are there on your screens. And with that, we are joined by a caller from Vizag. Hi, Ashok. Good evening.
Hi.
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm holding Praj Industries.
Okay.
100 at 462.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking for the short term. I just recently bought it just a week back.
Okay. So in just a week, you have made few profits there. So for how long are you planning to hold, Ashok?
I I can hold another 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. All right. So quickly coming to you, Ravi, it hit the lowest in the first week of May, and now I can see there's a slight recovery on the charts. So what's your sense on Praj Industries, and what suggestion do you have for Ashok?
Yeah, ma'am, you are rightly said that stock is now consolidating at support. So the next target would be the 520 to 530 levels. But if you want to book at around the 515 to 520 levels, because these levels are maybe very strong resistance that point of time, but still a strong support at 488. So just hold, sir. Stock is good, charts is consolidating and preparing for new rally. So just don't panic, hold your existing position.
Okay, so as Praj Industries prepares itself for a new rally, we need to wait and watch and be patient. We have Mayappan joining us on the phone line from Tamil Nadu. Hi Mayappan, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Vanakkam. How are you doing?
Vanakkam, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question, sir.
I want to ask about that Vodafone idea. I had a heavy loss. Now what I have to do?
Good question, sir. Vaibhav Mayappan from Tamil Nadu currently holds 5,000 shares of Vodafone Idea at 14 rupees a piece. And I'm not just going to take his query into consideration here, but all those who are currently invested in Vodafone Idea. This particular telecom giant has been surrounded by a lot of negative news recently, with the most recent one being the fact that Supreme Court has rejected its 45,000 crore waiver plea, along with Bharti Airtel as well in the line. But Vodafone Idea specifically has had a tough hit on its stock price. Currently trading at 6, our viewer bought it at 14. What would your suggestion to him be?
So if we see, continuously Vodafone Idea is losing its customer base, and which is supporting the customer base of the Airtel and Jio. So means and in future also their prospectus is not very positive. So my view is little cautious about this particular stock, because if business is not performing well, so in future we can expect more stress in their profitability and negative impact on the valuation. So I will say investors should be cautious regarding this particular stock.
Thanks for that view, Vaibhav. With that, we are joined by a caller from New Delhi. Hi, Arvind. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, how can I help you today?
Ma'am, I have 150 share of Delhivery at price up to 247.
Right.
Yeah. When should I book?
Yeah, Arvind, are you a short-term investor or a long-term investor?
Madam, 1 to 3 months.
Okay, so short-term investor. Understood.
Yes.
So, Ravi, currently it's trading at 351 and was up in trade today. Delivery was the stock of the day because its share price, hit upper circuit as brokerages are largely bullish after its Q4 results. So, what's your sense on the counter, and what should Arvind be doing?
Ma'am, you are rightly said that stock is in very strong hand and now trading in very higher with the higher volume, and I can say that all technical parameters are fitted to target of 380 to 400 levels. So, sir, congratulations. You just wait and watch, and 3-month target is 380 to 400 levels. I can say that very easily. So be patiently, just wait for the target. And I also request, please don't call me. Please call on show, ask more questions. Himakshi ma'am and Malika ma'am definitely take your questions. So please, I request.
Yes, and viewers, yes, that reminds me, just a small note. Call us on the numbers available to you, right? So the top number is our WhatsApp number. The number on the bottom is our calling number. It's our honest and sincere request that you call on these numbers and not our guests directly. And we would appreciate your patience and cooperation over there. We now are being joined by Sonia from Bengaluru. Hi, Sonia. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question, Sonia.
Yeah, so I want to ask about SBI.
Okay.
I am holding 2,800 shares of SBI. So I want to know the long-term perspective, like what is further, like 2 to 3 years down the line, what holds for SBI?
Okay, understood. And Sonia, since when are you invested in SBI? Because you've made a good profit for yourself of about 12 lakh rupees.
Yeah, so I am invested in this from last 4 years.
Okay.
I am accumulating it, or whenever the market goes down, I accumulate it.
Okay, got it. Vaibhav, Sonia from Bengaluru currently holds 2,800 shares of State Bank of India at 361 rupees a piece. The stock has doubled over her buying price and is now trading around 794. Now, Sonia has been accumulating these shares over the past 4 years and now wants to know the long-term prospect of SBI. What is your outlook over there?
Okay. So if we see, currently SBI is trading at a PB of 1.4. And SBI is mammoth in banking sector. SBI have a very large branch network and which they will utilize to increase their deposits. Currently in market, there is stress in deposits and other banks are facing issue regarding the growth of their deposits. So SBI have that potential to allocate deposit at lower cost and they will utilize their branch network for that. So, and overall, they have that ability to maintain their profitability in upcoming years. In near terms, we can expect some stress in their NIMs. But for long term, if we see that this stock still have a very good potential, and we can expect a target of 900 plus in this particular stock.
Thanks for that view, Vaibhav. With that, let's go across to a caller joining us from New Delhi. Hi, Ashok. Good evening. Ashok, are you there on the phone line? I think we've lost the line there, but we have Ashok's query with us. He holds 800 shares of SAIL at 99.5 and he's sitting on a profit of over 18,000. He hasn't mentioned the time horizon as to long term or short term, so I'd like to take both the technical and fundamental view on it. Firstly, coming to you, Vaibhav, how is SAIL positioned itself as compared to its peers in terms of valuation? Is it rightly valued or highly valued? What's your sense on the counter?
Okay. So if we see currently SAIL is trading at a PE of 17.3, which is lower than the industry PE. And as I told earlier, that commodity prices are already bottomed out because of the geopolitical tensions. So in upcoming quarters, we can expect marginal improvement in the HRC or metal prices, which will support the profitability of SAIL. So I will recommend hold on this particular stock if view is for the long term.
And Ravi, what's your view on the short term? And are these the correct levels to enter if somebody wants to invest in this counter?
Ma'am, exactly, 100 is a very strong support and also a small support at 110 level. So I can say that if you compare in a metal sector these days is a strong hand. So I can say that buy at current market price, put the stop loss of 115 or 118. For the short-term prospects, target is 132 to 138.
Okay, got it. And now we're being joined by Mansingh from Andhra Pradesh. Hi Mansingh, good evening.
Hi ma'am, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question.
I'm holding 200 shares of infra IRB infra developers.
Okay.
Is this the right level to accumulate more? Today, results, how are the results, madam?
Okay, got it.
So I want to know the technical view, madam.
Sure.
And the fundamentally.
Sure, Mansingh. Vaibhav, Mansingh from Andhra Pradesh currently holds 200 shares of IRB Infra at about 49 rupees a piece, basically the levels at which it is currently trading. And IRB Infra also came up with its Q4 results, not bad at all, with the profit rising about 13.7% on a year-on-year basis. How does IRB Infrastructure's long-term prospect to you look like?
First of all, if we see, this stock is currently trading at a PE of 30, which is more than the industry PE. But overall, they have delivered good numbers also, and their operating margins are also improved. So I will recommend hold on this particular stock, and future prospects are quite good about this particular stock.
Thanks for that view. With that, let's go across to a query, WhatsApp query from Tarun. He writes to us from Gandhinagar. He holds 50 shares of IIFL Capital at 274 rupees. He hasn't mentioned the time horizon as to he's looking for long-term or short-term, prospects. So I'd like to take both the fundamental and technical view on it. Firstly, coming to you, Vaibhav, how are the fundamentals of IIFL Capital looking like? Are you positive on the counter?
So if we see currently IIFL Capital is trading at a PE of 11.9, which is lower than the industry. And they're like, if we see their revenue growth, so revenue growth is like as per the industry pieces, so it is quite okay. So my recommendation for this particular stock is little cautious, and if we see the institutional investors also have reduced their position in this particular stock. So my view regarding this stock is quite cautious.
Okay, a cautious view on IIFL Capital, and now we're being joined by a WhatsApp query from Prudhviraj from Bengaluru. He currently holds 450 shares of Electro steel casting at 112.88 rupees a piece, and he wants to know the long-term view on Electro steel casting. Wherever that takes me to you again, how does the stock look like to you from a fundamental perspective?
Okay. So Electro steel casting is available at a very attractive valuation, first of all. And they are into the pipes, cast iron, and so they are into the metal segment. And if we see their numbers are quite okay because of the stress in this particular segment. But overall, that stock is also available at an attractive valuation. So we should wait for the numbers in upcoming quarter. If they are delivering stress numbers in upcoming quarters, then we should exit in particular stock.
Understood. And we have another caller, Shiv Kumar, joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Shiv Kumar.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your question, Shiv Kumar.
I would like to enter BSE shares at this price since they have announced the bonus as well as the record date is fixed to 23rd May.
Yes.
Is it the right time to buy for a long-term hold of 1 to 2 years? And what is the forecast since there is an NSE issue is also in the pipeline these days?
Yes. Got it. Ravi, I'd like to take this question to you. Shiv Kumar from Bengaluru currently wants to know whether this is the right time to enter BSE. Now, BSE is now trading around 7,475 rupees a piece, with its 52-week low being tremendously lower at about 2,115 levels. Tell me if this is the right time to enter BSE, especially in the case of Shiv Kumar, where he did mention that bonus issue could be a motivating factor, and NSE still has time to make its debut on the stock exchanges.
Sir, stock is good, fundamental is good, but at the station, train are going 140 levels, 40 speed. So I can say that don't try to enter at this level because speed is very high. But I can say that in longer term prospects, you may see some correction around 6,500 to 6,200 levels. And this is not a right time and right strategy to enter here because the risk reward ratio is very high. So just sir, there is a lot of stocks and more opportunity, all the stocks. So I can say that just avoid, that is the good strategy at this point of time.
Okay, so avoid at this point of time is what Ravi is suggesting. With that, we are joined by a caller from Tamil Nadu. Hi, Edward. Good evening. Edward, are you there on the phone line? Okay, we've lost the line there, but we have his query with us. Edward holds 5,000 shares of Exide Industries at 377, and he's sitting on a profit of 79,000, and he's looking for a short-term view on the counter. Currently, it's trading at 393. Ravi, how is it faring on the charts, and what suggestion do you have for Edward?
Yeah, charts is looking very attractive, and trading most of the prices are trading most of the small moving averages above the counter. So I can say that the target would be the 440 levels. So just wait and watch. Just see, your profit will maybe double from the current level. So put the stop loss of 385 to 82 levels. One is cross or close below, then you exit. Otherwise, just hold and wait for the 440 to 420 levels.
Okay. And now we have SM Murthy joining us on the phone line from Guntur. Hi, Mr. Murthy. Thank you so much for calling. How can we help you?
Good evening, madam. Actually, I have Jupiter wagon shares, 500 shares at average price of 484, madam.
Okay.
Today results came, it's more of a flat results. But I want to hold these stocks for long term. So what to do? Is there any changes I have to?
Sure. Vaibhav, I'll take this question to you. I know we already spoke about Jupiter wagons, but is there any suggestion different from what you've already spoken on the channel that you would want to give SM Murthy? He currently holds 484 shares of Jupiter wagons at 500 rupees a piece.
My view is quite same, because as I told earlier that our government is focused on this particular area, and there will be more need of wagons in upcoming quarters or upcoming time. So view regarding this particular is quite maintained. We can expect improvement in their order book in upcoming quarters, and they are trying to improve their operating efficiency also. So overall, we can expect improvement in revenue, net profitability, and valuation in upcoming years or quarters, if we say.
Okay, thanks for that view. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Chennai. Hi, Ramesh. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. I am having Bharat Dynamics Limited purchased in July 2024 at the rate of 1763.
Okay.
What is the time? I am ready to hold it for another 2 to 3 months.
Okay. So,
any guidance on this?
Yes, absolutely. Ravi, coming to you, currently it's trading at 1824 and he has made, good profits there, almost over 51,000. So he wants to hold it for another 2 to 3 months. So are you positive? Is there an uptick? Because I can see that on the charts since May, it's since May 7th, the stock is in a very good upward trend. So what's your suggestion on Bharat Dynamics?
Yeah, Himakshi ma'am, you are rightly said, but I can say that the levels are consolidating now, and you may see some correction around 1780 to 1770 levels. So you have a two strategy. One, you just wait for the target of 1880 to 1900 levels, or you can put the stop loss of 1780 levels and wait for the next target. So choice is yours, but if I am at your place, then I book at least 50% share at current market price.
Okay, got it. And now we have Sharad calling in from Patna. Hi Sharad, namaste, good evening.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
I'd like to invest in Gas Authority of India Limited, GAIL.
Okay.
So I would like to know the fundamental.
And Sharad, why are you interested in GAIL?
It's showing a strength, so I think that it should move.
Okay. And what kind of strength?
6 months. For 6 months, I would
Okay, got it. Ravi, could you at least explain us why GAIL India would be the right or the wrong choice to enter at this point, and how does a technical perspective look like?
See, ma'am, is a cash-rich company. They have a strong fundamental, and in technical charts, you have seen there is a very strong consolidation around 190 to 170 levels. And I can suggest, Ashok sir, please do investment in this stock as a SIP format, because they have a good record to giving the dividend and a strong upward trend also. So I can say that you just invest in this stock for the longer term prospects, not for the trading purpose. So you may see the level of 240 to 250 levels in next couple of months, maybe in a 6 to 8 month. But I can say that is invest in this stock in SIP mode. That is the good strategy.
Okay, thanks for that view, Ravi. With that, let's go across to a caller joining us from Chennai. Hi, Rukmani. Good evening. Rukmani, are you there? Oh, sorry, it's a WhatsApp query. My bad. So Rukmani is asking whether it's the right time to buy Ashok Leyland at current levels. It's trading at 241 and was up in trade today over 1%. So, Ravi, since, Ashok Leyland's board is also to mull bonus share issue on Friday, that is on May 23rd. So, considering that news also in mind, what are the charts suggesting?
See, ma'am, chart is in upward trend and it achieved the target of 250. But I can say that this is not right time to enter because risk reward ratio is not good. So I can just say avoid this stock, wait for some correction.
And Vaibhav, I'd also like to come on the fundamental aspect of it. How is Ashok Leyland? How do you view Ashok Leyland for a long-term investment?
So if we see Ashok Leyland have delivered a moderate improvement in their revenue growth. But overall, if we see in upcoming quarters, we can expect improvement in the demand of the business vehicles, consumer vehicles. So that will support the growth in the Ashok Leyland, as earlier in rural areas, focus was more towards the improving the utility of the vehicles. Now in upcoming quarters, we can expect improving demand in the consumer vehicles. So that's why my view is quite positive in Ashok Leyland.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that. And now we're being joined by Siddharth from Guntur. Hi, Siddharth. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Please go ahead with your question.
I'm holding Ritco Logistics, ma'am.
Okay.
300 shares.
Okay.
I have it priced at 380 rupees, sir. Today it came up with the Q4 results. How are the results, sir? Should I wait or should I add more stocks here?
Okay, understood. Vaibhav, why don't you tell us a bit about Ritco Logistics? But before that, Siddharth from Guntur currently holds 300 shares at 380 rupees a piece. He needs a perspective on how the quarterly numbers have been for Ritco so far, and what would your suggestion for the future be with regards to his investment?
Okay, so Ritco Logistics is into the transportation activities, and for India, if we see, India is trying to improve its business and trying to improve its economy, and our growth prospect is quite good. So these all things will support the logistics activity of the country. So and these things will also support the revenue growth of this particular company, and this stock is also available at an attractive valuation of 21 PE. So I will recommend hold on this particular stock.
Okay, thanks for that view. With that, we have a WhatsApp query. Lalita holds 700 shares of Syrma at 487 rupees. She hasn't mentioned the time horizon. So firstly, I'd like to take Vaibhav's view on it. Vaibhav, how is Syrma positioned itself with compared to its peers in terms of valuations also? Because I can see that it's, the P ratio is quite high. So what do you have to say on that?
Syrma is into the EMS, and in this particular segment, all the stocks are trading at a little higher valuation if we see, and there is also a reason behind that, because in India demand for EMS is increasing. So that's why these all things are also guiding that these companies have potential to deliver improvement in revenue and net profitability, and which this company also have shown in their numbers. If we see, their sales were 3,787 CR in 25, and which was 3,100 CR in 24, so which is increased by 20%. So overall, my view on this particular stock is hold.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And very quickly, let's talk to Vikram calling in from Baroda. Hi, Vikram. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Please go ahead with your question.
Specifically, I want to know, before some 10-5 years, I made some loss in one of the script, and my DP assistant has requested, so he has purchased a transformer and rectifier at the rate of 9 rupees in those years.
Interesting.
And today it has got a circuit 529, and before issuance of bonus, before 3 months ago, top it went to 614, and I have got some more than 1,000 shares. Now, will you please be kind enough to advise me? Should I hold or sell it or what?
Of course, Vikram, of course. Ravi, I'd like to take your view on this. Vikram from Baroda currently holds 800 shares of transformers and rectifiers bought at 9 rupees a piece. The stock has climbed significantly to 529 levels, although it has been quite in a range-bound trade since February of 2025. What does the future of the company look like, especially on the charts?
Ma'am, trend is your friend, and see the trend impact. I can say that the lower volume is in this stock, but a very strong hand. So the target would be the 550 to 560 levels. So I can say that just touch with the 550 or 560 levels once, then you ask again, because the lot of volatility and low volume is risky, but stock is in a strong hand.
That advice. And Ravi Singh and Vaibhav Vidwani, thank you so much, both of you gentlemen, for answering all the queries of our viewers with such patience. And we will see you again. And viewers, all you have to note is the WhatsApp numbers available to you, so that you can send in your stock-related queries and we can give you the best investment advice. But on the other side is a fresh, packed bulletin, Profit 360, waiting for you. So stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company,
Nifty ends below 25,000, dragged down by Eternal and Grasim Industries. Sensex and Nifty decline for the second straight day. Nifty Realty emerges as the top performer, while Nifty FMCG, Oil and Gas snap their 3-day winning streak. The Supreme Court dismisses pleas from telecom majors like Vodafone Idea, Bharti Airtel and Tata Teleservices to waive the adjusted gross revenue or AGR dues, calling the pleas misconceived. The Delhi High Court doesn't pass immediate relief for Turkish ground handling and cargo operator Celebi Airport Services India, challenging the government's decision to revoke its security clearance. The hearing will again continue on May 21st. In a move that signals further strain in bilateral ties, sources tell NDTV Profit the government is unlikely to extend Indigo Airlines' leasing agreement with Turkish Airlines. The Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is asked several questions from committee members over the recent Indo-Pak developments, US involvement, nuclear concerns and the growing influence of social media in foreign policy narratives. Sources say the government has clarified that there was no US intervention on ceasefire dialogue between India and Pakistan. US stocks slip after Moody's downgrades the US credit rating late Friday, causing Treasury yields to spike. The Dow Jones Industrial Average traded 42 points lower, while the S&P 500 dips 0.4%. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit. I'm Sanjana, bringing you the latest updates. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll dive into the biggest market movements along with top national and international headlines. So let's get right into it. The Sensex and the Nifty declined for the second straight day, with the Nifty slipping below 25,000, weighed down by Eternal and Grasim Industries. While Nifty Realty emerged as the top performing sector, Nifty FMCG, Oil and Gas saw a reversal, snapping their 3-day winning streak. Harsh now joining in with a complete market wrap.
Well, let's talk about the index itself. We were very, very range bound in trade again today. For a large part of the day, we traded in less than 100-point band and therefore extremely tight where the range is concerned. But we slipped below the 25K mark. We clocked a low of 24,916, and thereafter we saw just a bit of an inch up at close. So that's how the Nifty played out. In terms of themes and sectors, well, you saw some pressure within IT and consumption in trade today. You also saw within broader markets the media index under some bit of pressure. Oil and gas also was under some bit of pressure. What did well though was auto was one pocket where stocks were up around a third. The Nifty auto was up around a third of a percent thereabouts. Within the broader markets, realty was the other space, 2% higher on the Nifty realty index. So you saw good traction within those couple of pockets. The other piece was utilities. You saw good traction within something like a power grid, which did well today. And NTPC also sat in the green on an otherwise difficult day for the index. So those were some of the other gainers on the Nifty 50. When you're looking at the broader markets, the advanced decline was, or rather the breadth was favorable on the Nifty, on the NSE. And you saw that the advanced decline was nearly 2:1 even at close, despite some bit of weakness on the Nifty right towards the fag end. The small and mid cap space, both the indices held up fairly well for themselves, and therefore they outperformed the Nifty, and they continued to do that. So good traction getting built there. Of course, the action was all stock specific on the back of numbers, some very, very impressive numbers coming through, especially from defense counters. But nonetheless, overall, you did see some buzzers largely skewed towards news, and HEG Graphite, for example, were alive and kicking in trade today. You saw some bit of traction again around defense. So some particular pockets obviously doing well on the back of news. But broadly, that kind of sums it up.
And in a major setback for telecom companies, the Supreme Court has dismissed petitions from Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea and Tata Teleservices which sought relief on their adjusted gross revenue liabilities. A bench led by Justices J.B. Pardiwala and R. Mahadevan ruled the pleas as misconceived, shutting down hopes for exemption. Now, earlier the telcos had sought waivers on penalties and interest on penalties, citing severe financial strain due to multiple court rulings on AGR over the years. Aishwarya now joining us with a detailed breakdown of the Supreme Court's verdict on the case.
Well, just before the bench of court number 11 in the Supreme Court could break for lunch, the counsels of Vodafone Idea and Airtel appeared and asked for the hearing to be scheduled earlier. Later during the day, Vodafone Idea's case was listed as article number 55, which would have taken some time. But as this was happening, the Supreme Court and the bench dismissed the petition outright, calling it misconceived. It acknowledged that the companies involved can explore other remedies, just not through the Supreme Court, and definitely not in this manner is what they emphasized. The court said, don't make us a party, and essentially refusing to mediate or interfere in what is considered a matter of executive or government authorities. Now, Vodafone Idea's counsel, Mukul Rohatgi, pointed out that they've already paid about 50,000 crore in terms of AGR dues, and the government already owns about 50% of the company. The court, of course, responded that if the government wants to help, that is the last remedy possibly that they could look at. They're free to do so. The government is free to do so. And but what he emphasized and said and reiterated is that the judiciary will not indulge in this and be part of this. So that's the crux of the hearing and the arguments that happened at the Supreme Court, Court number 11. A huge setback for Vodafone Idea as well as Airtel coming in as they ask for waivers of, Vodafone asks waiver for over 45,000 crore rupees in interest as well as penalty.
Thanks so much for that, Aishwarya. And let me quickly turn to my colleague Himangshi now for a detailed breakdown of the key events that has shaped this critical case. Over to you.
Now, Vodafone was eyeing for a third lifeline, but now the cash-strapped telco has hit another roadblock. Remember, the government has already stepped in twice to rescue Vodafone Idea. Let me just quickly rewind the timeline for my viewers. In 2019, a Supreme Court verdict redefined how telecom dues were calculated. For Vodafone Idea, that ruling was a financial earthquake. AGR now included non-core revenue, and the company suddenly owed tens of thousands of crores. By 2023, Vodafone Idea was in deep trouble. The government stepped in, converting over 6,000 crores of interest dues into equity. It wasn't just support, it was survival. The centre became a 23% stakeholder. Fast forward to March 2025, Vodafone Idea needed help again. Now this time, the government converted 36,950 crore rupees more into equity. Now 13,000 crore rupees of it, dues immediately. Now its stake nearly doubled, rising to 49%. The government had become the single largest shareholder in a private telecom company. Now, in May 2025, Vodafone Idea is back, asking for a third lifeline, a waiver of 45,000 crore rupees in AGR dues, not the principal, but penalties and interest. Despite the two equity conversions, Vodafone India still owes over 1.1 lakh crore rupees in spectrum fees and adjusted gross revenue. Now, today, the Supreme Court rejected the waiver requests from both Vodafone Idea and Bharti Airtel, dashing hopes of any fresh AGR relief. And for Vodafone Idea, it's back to the drawing board, it seems.
The Finance Ministry has amended Rule 8 of the Securities Contracts Rules to clarify what qualifies as a broker's business. Now, the updated rule states that brokers' investments won't be treated as business activity unless they involve client funds, client securities, or create financial liabilities. Previously, brokers were barred from engaging in any other business, but the term was open to interpretation. So now this amendment offers much-needed clarity while ensuring regulators can still step in if client assets are misused or financial exposure is created. So this move essentially strikes a balance between regulatory oversight and operational flexibility for brokers. Now, the centre has opposed a plea in the Delhi High Court by Turkey-based Celebi Airport Services Private Limited, which challenged the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security's decision to revoke its security clearance over national security concerns. Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta, representing the government, argued before Justice Sachin Datta that disclosing the reasons behind the revocation could jeopardize national interests, sovereignty and security. Let me quickly go over to Charu for more details on the court proceedings.
So, Celebi has been operating in India for the last 17 years and they have submitted before the Delhi High Court that after a long time they have employed a lot of people, they have been operating smoothly for a very long time. So, they should not be vaguely asked to give up on their security clearance in the name of national security. And the representatives of the company before the Delhi High Court, which included senior advocate Mukul Rohatgi, submitted that this seems to be driven from public perception rather than the national security reasons, and the court heard the arguments of both the parties and has asked the government to show the legal provision as per which these steps have been taken, as the court will proceed on the basis if there is a genuine apprehension on part of the